CNN blames Trump for Russia hacking our democracy. Sarah shoves Obama's record in his face. By Rebecca DeCirio, Politics U.S. News for MadWorldNews.com. CNN refuses to get into reality with Russia and their role in hacking our, quote, democracy in 2016. The fake news network refused to acknowledge whatever hacking Russia did. It did not affect the outcome of the 2016 election. Once again, White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders had to deal with this issue at the White House press briefing, and she finally lost it and shoved Barack Obama and his record in CNN's Jim Acosta's face. You'll love this. Poor Sarah Sanders has to deal with idiots who want to ask the same questions over and over again, as if they're hoping that if they ask enough times, they'll eventually get a different answer. Something children like to do, of course. Russia is one of their favorite topics for such questioning. Last week, Vice President Mike Pence made it clear these crazy Russian bots and Russian troll farms did not affect the outcome of the 2016 election. Irrespective of efforts that were made in 2016 by foreign powers, it is the universal conclusion of our intelligence communities that none of those efforts had any impact on the outcome of the 2016 election, Pence said in an event hosted by Axios, according to The Hill. All Special Counsel Robert Mueller's lengthy investigation could come up with was 13 Russians who were trolling the internet, and they did nothing in terms of swaying the election for any one candidate. It's really a joke. These Russians weren't even trying to help President Donald Trump win. They were just sowing confusion. Breitbart reports the Mueller indictment alleges that these Russian actors engaged in paid and other social media efforts, as well as staging political rallies and sowing discord in the United States using identity politics by propping up causes like Black Lives Matter, pro-Islamic causes, religious entities, and more. And the idiots fell for it hook, line, and sinker on the left. And they did it by posing as U.S. persons with falsified or stolen identities. Yeah. So when CNN foolishly started accusing President Trump of doing nothing to stop Russia, Sarah Sanders had to remind them that this all happened on former President Barack Obama's watch. Look, this president, as I told you last week, has been much tougher on Russia than his predecessors. Yeah, and we have Obama on tape. Let me get elected, and then I'll have more leeway, saying to the Russian guy over there. Remember that film? Look, this president, as I told you last week, has been much tougher on Russia than his predecessor. Let's not forget that this happened under Obama. It didn't happen under President Trump. If you want to blame somebody on past problems, then you need to look at the Obama administration, said Sanders with attitude. I totally agree. CNN is so crazy about this Russian meddling, which amounted to nothing, that they accosted a poor elderly woman at her home last Tuesday. The Washington Examiner reports a CNN reporter and camera crew approached an elderly female Trump supporter in public to confront her about promoting a pro-Trump social media account that was allegedly set up by Russians. They had, on Tuesday night, the network aired a news segment showing reporter Drew Griffin asking the woman identified as Florine Gruen Goldfarb whether she knew she was involved with the allegedly Russian established Facebook account being patriotic. Listen, you can't do that. Bottom line, you're a Trump supporter, so you're going to do an investigation into everything. And the lady said it straight up. She told him, leave it alone. Anyway, whatever, I've put up that video already. So, a Florida woman who ran a Trump supporters page that unwittingly promoted a Russian, according to CNN, doesn't believe she was influenced. She wasn't influenced by the Kremlin. She wanted to support Donald Trump. Who's she going to support? The crooked Hillary? But the Russians were involved with you. Did you guys know that? Griffin asked Goldfarb They weren't involved with us, Goldfarb said, telling CNN crew to report its story correctly, and that members of her group were American supporters. Those were Russians, Griffin said, referring to Being Patriotic account, which organized a pro-Trump rally promoted by Goldfarb's Facebook group. They were not Russians. I don't go with the Russians, she said. Okay. Anyway, bottom line, she called them fake news. Despicable CNN hunts down an ordinary citizen at home, accusing her of aiding Russia because she promoted an event on Facebook, that Mueller says Russians organized. Go ask Michael Moore why he did that. And the rallies were bigger for the nut jobs on the left. Michael Moore was head, and they asked Michael Moore back then. They were asking the other girl, who organized this, and they had no answers. The idiots on the left, you know. So go ask Michael Moore why he did that. Ask Joy Reid why Russian bots RT her so much. Challenge power. This is bullying. Yeah. Okay. The poor woman has been attacked by Trump haters after the CNN interview ran on live TV. Really? Twitter user Mellon tweeted her house is shown. She was named in the full version of the interview. She has already been inundated with hate messages online, and people have driven to her home to yell at her house. Yeah, I called that doxing times 10. What did I say? That the liberals play dirty. Do you understand? They have all the time in the world. Listen, guys, the people on the right have the money, and we're letting these idiots run the country. No, to the ground. They're running it into the ground. That's what they're doing. Things should get a little tougher. They should be prosecuted for going to the lady's house, and harassing her. So it's no wonder White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders is sick and tired of fake news CNN. And the lady did call CNN your fake news, pushing their ridiculous, bogus Russian narrative. Their entire network is so deranged, suffering from Russian fever. Luckily, more and more people are realizing Mueller's investigation was just a witch hunt that so far has turned up a big nothing burger. Until CNN winds up shut down for good, failing victim to their bad reputation, we can depend on Sarah Sanders to keep correcting the liars and Trump haters. You see what I'm saying? What conservative is going to go start yelling at somebody's house? Do you see what I'm saying? If they supported Hillary. But you see the loony left? They should be arrested. There should be consequences for those kind of actions. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.